What's going on, guys? In this episode, I'm going to tell you what the secret sauce is for exercising consistently. My name is Austin. This is the Bodies in Business podcast. And today's topic, we're going to talk about consistently exercising and how you can do that, what that looks like, and why you need to exercise. So I'm going to give you the secret sauce up front. You can stop watching after this 30 seconds of listening to me. But basically, if you want to exercise consistently, all you need to do is either do a 15-minute HIIT workout or hit your step goal in a day. You can bounce back and forth between those two things every single day of your life, and you will be in the top, percentage of people working out. All right. What I mean by doing your step goal, you need to walk at least 7,000 to 8,000 steps in a day. If you have a wearable, like I'm showing on my wrist right now, it's super helpful because it tracks your steps, and your phone also tracks your steps, but we don't always keep our phones with us, and it doesn't do a very, very great job of tracking our steps. But if you get around 7,000 to 8,000 steps in a day, for me, I do 10,000. I try to do 10,000 if I'm not working out. And the reason why, I'll go into why you need to keep track of your steps. 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day, that means you're moving a good amount during the day. And you'd be surprised how many people only walk around maybe 3,000 to 4,000 steps on average a day. So that's number one. If you're not doing a 15-minute HIIT workout, hit your step goal, 7,000 to 8,000 steps. To start, you can bump it up to 9, 10, 11, whatever you want to do. But the research shows that getting around 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day is good for your health. Then a 15-minute workout. HIIT workout. These 15-minute HIIT workouts can be very beneficial and very great with time, right? A lot of times we feel like we're in a bind and we don't have a lot of time. We want to get a quick workout in because we only have a short amount of time to do something. A 15-minute HIIT workout is great for your mind and your body. With that being said, this is the last bit of the secret sauce, then we're going to jump into everything. But you need to have these 15-minute HIIT workouts in the chamber, ready to go, ready to do. You don't need to use the mental capacity to figure out the 15-minute workouts. You need to have it ready to go. And that's where the reason why the FlyFit app, and the reason why when I send workouts to people, it's so helpful, because they already have a workout ready to go. They don't have to think. They can just jump into the workout and rip. Okay. So that's the secret sauce. You don't have to listen to me anymore if you don't want to, but I would recommend listening to more, because you're going to understand what the American Heart Association recommends. You're also going to understand why you need to work out more. And then I'm going to go into a good regimen you can have, and also my own regimen. But that's it. Either hit your step goal for the day, at least 7,000 to 8,000 steps in a day, and then, or do a 15-minute HIIT workout. And that's the bare minimum, guys. If you do that, you'll be pretty much set. If you want to do more, you can always do more. That is what you need to do to start. Now, I haven't even got into like weight training and doing all these other things, but everyone wants to know, like, what is the minimal amount I need to do to stay like in a healthy state? And that's it. That's what I found that is super helpful for people, because it doesn't mean you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, but it does give you enough novelty in that you break up your workouts, go HIIT workout on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then hit your step goal on the other 4 days. And you should, that's a good start. So start doing that. If you don't know anything else, start doing that, and that'll point you in the right direction. Okay. Now we're going to get into what the American Heart Association recommends. And this aligns with what I just suggested to you for your workout. So the American Heart Association recommends that you do at least 150 minutes per week of moderate intensity exercise, or 75 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity, or a combination of both. So what I just told you was 15 minutes 3 times a week would be 45 minutes of vigorous exercise. And then when you add in all the walking that you're going to do, that adds up to around probably 75 to 100 minutes of moderate exercise. So that's why I blend those two like that, is because that's what the American Heart Association recommends. And we kind of want to go off that as a good metric to say, this is a piece of information, a piece of research that I can base my exercise routines off of for my brain and my body, and other things too, because I'm going to explain why we need to work out. That's like the bare minimum. Okay. And you can add more to your vigorous exercise. You can add more to your walking. You can do more weight training and stuff like that. But the bare minimum is at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise or a combination of both. So that's a good start to understand you not just doing 75 minutes of vigorous exercise in one day is not the greatest plan. You want to spread it out over time because it's really, really good for your heart to have some heart rate variability throughout your week and throughout your day. And so that's why you don't want to do like 150 minutes of moderate exercise all in one day. I know a lot of people try to game the system a little bit. But anyways, you can go to the website, check out some more recommendations, and a couple other things they say is spend less time sitting and then gain even more benefits from being active at least 300 minutes per week. Okay, so that's the American Heart Association's recommendations. Now, why do we want to do this? Because this is a big reason is most people think it's because you want to look good. And to be honest, superficially, yes, that is something that I really enjoy is I like looking good in a bathing suit. It gives me more confidence. It allows me to feel like, man, I can take care of myself because I feel like I have muscles. And also it also makes my wife happy that I'm in shape and that I can take care of myself and I can also take care of her. There are a lot of benefits to it, but honestly, the two biggest benefits that people overlook the most probably are heart and brain benefits. And I'm going to give you a couple sentences for heart, brain, and benefits, vital organ benefits, longevity, sedentary lifestyle, and motivation. If you don't know by now that exercise is one of the best things you can do in your life, doctors say if they could bottle up exercise and put it in a pill and sell it, it would be $1 trillion company because it is the best thing you can do for your health. And you don't need to be at the gym for an hour every day in order to feel like you're doing some sort of exercise. Like I said, if you're moving 7,000 to 8,000 steps in a day, you are getting a lot of exercise throughout the day and you're getting movement. Some people have this framework of what exercise is in their brain. And they're like, oh, if I don't do that specific thing, then I'm not exercising. It's like eating a salad. Some people look at eating a salad as like pretty bland usually, but I look at eating salad as like, man, I can throw most people don't like kale probably, but I throw some kale in there, throw some steak, throw some quinoa, throw some potatoes, throw some onions, like all these other things. Like workouts look different to everybody. Going and playing basketball for 30 minutes or an hour is a workout, right? You just need to understand what getting the combination of both vigorous exercise and moderate exercise, and then adding in weights if you can. So heart health, regular exercise strengthens your heart, improves circulation, and lowers the risk of heart disease. Brain health, exercise boosts mood, focus, memory by increasing blood flow and supporting brain chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. We've talked about dopamine and serotonin before. All right, vital organs, your vital organs, they are vital to your life, like your heart, your brain, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, your pancreas, your intestines. Everything improves when you work out for your vital organs. Longevity. Consistent exercise is one of the most important tools for increasing both lifespan and health span. And I'm going to get into this a little later, but Daniel Pink wrote a book called The Power of Regret, and foundational regrets of not taking care of yourself is one of the biggest regrets people have. It's because they're always like, man, I should have taken better care of myself so that in my later years, I would have been able to do more because maybe I have more resources or I have more people in my life that I want to see and that type of stuff. We don't really understand what it's going to be like when we're 70, 80 years old. So doing the things now to prepare for that type of stuff is very beneficial. You're not going to be able to, when you're 60 or 70, start working out super hard to build muscle. All right. Sedentary lifestyle. Regular movement offsets the damage caused by long periods of sitting and inactivity. All right. We've become a sedentary community. Or just world in general, a lot of desk work happens, and that's just the way the world is. And understanding that and saying, okay, I'm going to set a timer for every hour at my desk. I'm going to get up and take a 5 to 10 minute walk, something like that. It's very helpful. And then motivation. Exercise builds momentum. Once you start moving consistently, motivation follows rather than leads. So that's the biggest thing people don't really understand is you're probably not going to always feel super motivated to work out, but once you start moving, that is when you actually gain more motivation. So once you actually start walking to get exercise, then you start feeling like, man, maybe I can pick up the pace a little bit. Maybe I can go for a little jog. Maybe I can just walk for another 30 minutes because this feels good and I'm on the phone with somebody. Like, you don't really feel the benefits of exercise until you start doing it and continue consistently doing it. All right. So what does this look like? I'm going to go through a schedule that you can follow. So you can do vigorous exercise on Monday. Tuesday, you can do your step goal or do a 30-minute brisk walk. Wednesday, vigorous exercise. Thursday, brisk walk. Friday, vigorous exercise. And then Saturday and Sunday, brisk walk or getting your step goal. That's 45 minutes of vigorous exercise and 120 minutes of moderate. The reason why you kind of want to have some type of plan at the beginning of the week is because it helps you frame what you're going to do for the week. And if you say, man, I'm going to do vigorous exercise 5 times this week, it gets a little monotonous. And it's also something where you're just like, I kind of want to switch it up a little bit. And so breaking that up with walking or just doing something other than a HIIT workout is super helpful, because then you look forward. You may not look forward to it, but you start looking forward to doing that exercise if you're mixing it up, right? We like novelty, but we also like consistency. So it's like having that balance of I'm doing walking 4 times a week and I'm doing vigorous exercise 3 times a week. I have a consistent schedule and I can up the time if I want, if I have the time, but I have a baseline set where I know I'm going to do these. And that helps you schedule other things in your life, right? If you know when you're going to work out and you know what you need to do, you start to plan for that stuff. All right. And I know a lot of people are super busy in their lives and they get pounded with work or have a lot of family stuff going on or just feel stressed out and just like, God, like I can't take time to go work out because I have to work on other stuff. Totally get it. I've been there, but you don't realize how beneficial exercise is every day, because I feel like for me, it is a pill that I take every day that makes me feel so much better and allows me to work even harder on stuff like my family, my business, and then also friendships and stuff like that. So scenario 2, you could do adding weights into the mix. You could do a vigorous exercise on Monday, weights on Tuesday, hit your step goal on Wednesday, vigorous exercise on Thursday, weights on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, brisk walk. Like I said, having some sort of routine is super helpful. And I know that's tough for some people, like I've said, but that's how you break up the week, and don't let it be too complicated. All right. Doing some sort of exercise is going to help you understand what you are capable of and what your schedule allows you to do. And if you need help, if you need some sort of schedule, because this is where it gets really tough for people, is like, it's tough for people to really come up with their own plan. Reach out to me. I would love to come up with some sort of weekly or monthly plan for you so that you can understand what works best for you. Because I know that it's tough for people to, if you don't consistently work out, it's tough to know what you need to do. It's taken me a long time to figure out what my schedule is. And I'll tell you what my schedule is right now in my current lifestyle. So on Monday, I do this thing called Burpee Monday. One of my friends introduced me to Burpee Monday last year because he said he didn't have any equipment when he did a big move. And so he was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing burpees. I'm going to start with like 10 or 15 minutes and I'm going to add, 1 minute every week or something like that. And so for me this year, I'm going to do Burpee Monday every week for the year. And so right now I'm on 12 minutes. I started with 10. So we're on week 6. So I'm on 12 minutes and I'm doing 1 minute, adding 1 minute every 2 weeks, and then bringing it back down as the back of the end of the year comes. Okay. So Burpee Monday, I either do it in the morning on Monday or I wait until right before my weight training workout, and I do about 45 minutes to an hour of weights of upper body on Monday. And my Burpee Monday is only 12 minutes and it gets my heart rate up. It actually motivates me to work out for the week, and it's pretty tough. So it's doing something tough to start your week off. All right. Tuesday, I usually do about 10 minutes on the spin bike to warm up for a vigorous 20-minute HIIT workout that gets me absolutely drenched in sweat. A lot of up downs, a lot of burpees, some kettlebell stuff usually, just a whole host of fun stuff that gets me really sweaty. And then I do a little bit of lower body weights like hamstring work or like hanging from the bar with knee tucks and stuff like that. My Mondays and Tuesdays are always like my hardest workouts because I like to bang those out at the beginning of the week. And then Wednesday, it's like more of a recovery day for me. I try to hit my step goal on Wednesday, but then I also do like hang from a bar for 7 minutes, but I don't do it 7 minutes straight. That would be insane. Not insane, but insane for me. I do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for about 15 minutes. And so it's about 7 minutes of actual hanging, and maybe I'll do some planks and stuff too. But as long as I get my step goal in on Wednesday, we're good. Thursdays, I like to either do 15, 20 minutes or 25 minutes of swimming. And I do that in a lap pool, either up at the school, or I used to have an apartment that had a pool. And so I do it there. Very fortunate if you're able to swim. Swimming is like one of the most fun things I think to do, because you can do it really light and easy, and you're working every single muscle in your body. Everything is moving when you're swimming, and it's very tranquil. It gets me really relaxed and able to make me think about a lot of stuff while I'm swimming, and try to have some good brainstorming sessions while I swim. So I do that on Thursdays. Fridays, I do a 60-minute weight session, upper body, nice and easy, nothing fast paced, but like a lot of upper body, chest, back, and shoulders. And then Saturday, I do another 20-minute vigorous exercise. I usually go 10 minutes on the bike to start, and then I try to do some legs after that. I don't always get to, but I'll stretch after that as well. But I like doing 2 really high intensity exercises a week, and then 2 days of really tough weights, and then some isometrics, and then some swimming. And then on Sunday, I try to hit my step goal, which I already did today because we went to a flea market. So we walked around for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So that was good. But that's my workout, guys. I looked at the totals. Vigorous exercise, it's about 40 minutes. Then moderate exercise, it's roughly probably like, I would say 40, 50 minutes, maybe more like 100 minutes if I'm being honest. And then weights, it's around 120 minutes. So that's my exercises. All right. Now I want to go back to the foundation regret. Okay. Foundational regrets. And this is, like I said, from Daniel Pink's book, The Power of Regret, which I haven't listened to yet, but I heard he has a lot of videos that he's done on the power of regret. So if you watch his videos, he'll go into them. And I want to talk about him real quick. He said he did, through large-scale research, Daniel Pink identified 4 common regret types: your health, money, education, and relationships. Those 4 are foundation regrets. And the biggest thing I think people really sleep on is how your health can really impact your entire life, throughout your entire life. Now, money can come and go really, really fast, or you can build it up over time, or something really, really tough can happen in your life and you can lose all your money. Your health is one of those things that if you have your health, you set yourself up to be able to do anything in life. If you are always sick or always in the hospital, and some people can't help that, I totally understand. And some people are in situations where they can't focus on their health as much. But if you are in a healthy state, if you feel strong, if you feel like you're in shape, if your mind is all there and you feel healthy, you can almost do anything in life. And it's such a good feeling. And you feel like if you lost it all, you could still come back because you have your health. You could push yourself. That's one thing I think sports has really done for me growing up is I've always had to stay in pretty good shape for the sports that I play. And then you go in seasons, right? That doesn't mean you have to be 100% at all times. Whenever you have a baby, you're not going to get as much sleep in that first, month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, maybe even 6 months. And so you go through seasons of life where you're not going to be as healthy as you'd like to be. But over the long period of time, the healthier you are, the better you feel and the more opportunities you'll have to be successful in the money aspect of your life, education, and your relationships. All right. If you are always concerned about your health or always sick or always in the hospital and that type of thing, or you're always worried about feeling bad, then it's going to be tough for you to focus on those other things that you want to have more of in life. Right. So I definitely recommend going to listen to Daniel Pink's videos about regret because it really makes you understand, hey, I don't want to be 60, 70 years old and regret that I didn't focus on my health more, or be in my 40s and 50s and have kids that you can't go do fun stuff with, right? Or even if you don't have kids, you want to be able to go do fun stuff with your family or friends, or just be good enough or be healthy enough to where you can go do stuff on your own and you don't need people to be there for you, right? We want to be as independent as possible when it comes to our health because we feel like we can do more. And then on to the next topic. Here is, if you're having trouble, if we're at the 20-minute mark, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. James Clear, we've talked about this one time, but James Clear has this 2-minute rule that he likes to use when it comes to exercise. I'm going to read it for you. The 2-minute rule says that when you're starting a new habit, you should scale it down to something that takes 2 minutes or less. The idea is simple. Make the habit so easy that it's almost impossible to say no. The goal isn't to get a full workout in. is to show up and build consistency. When applied to exercise, the 2-minute rule might look like putting on your workout shoes, doing 2 push-ups, stretching, or 2 minutes for 2 minutes, or taking a quick walk around the block. And that one really works for me. I like to go for a walk in the morning. And so when I finally get my shoes on and step outside, I'm like, okay, we're good to go. We got our shoes on. We're ready to get our sunlight, ready to go for a walk. And I'll go for maybe 20, 30 minutes. Sometimes it's maybe just 15. But I get my walk in and it's like, man, I'm ready for the day. It gets my brain going. Once you start, you often keep going. And that's the whole point. The motivation doesn't come in a big wave until you actually start moving. That moving forward creates more dopamine and pushes you and motivates you to want to do more. When you're sedentary, you're not going to feel as motivated. But once you start that movement, I can't stress it enough. That's when you want to do more. So I gave you the secret sauce at the beginning to stay consistent over a long period of time when it comes to exercise. Now I'm going to give you a more in-depth secret sauce plan, secret sauce exercising consistently. Okay. First one is plan. We talked about this. If you don't have a plan, someone will make your plan for you because you're just going to be like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Or yeah, I can help you out with that. When you have a plan, you start to plan things around your plan. Or if somebody asks you to do something and you already have something planned, then you will say, no, I can't do that. I have something planned. Having some sort of plan, and the plan doesn't have to be perfect. A good plan now is better than a perfect plan later. I think Patton said that, maybe. Gosh, I'm losing my brain. Oh man, from the academy. I can't remember. Contrails. Gosh, I had to say it before I got banned from the academy. My contrails. Plan. And it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be a crazy plan. It can be so simple. It can be like, hey, I'm just going to do 2 times of vigorous exercise this week, Monday and Wednesday, because the rest of my week, I'm going to hit my step goal. All right. Perfect. All right. If you are just now starting out, working out, early in the day or first thing when you wake up is the best time for you to actually do your workouts. Early in the day or first thing after you wake up, because you will make a lot of excuses for yourself as the day goes on to not work out in the afternoon or at night. All right. It will happen. It just happens if you're just now starting out. And when you bang it out in the morning, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Number 3, have your workout ready to go. Like I said earlier, if you have to think about what you're going to do, you're wasting time. You want to have a workout in the chamber ready to go. 15 minutes, I'm done. Or 20 minutes, I'm done. 30 minutes, I'm done. You don't want to be like, oh, I don't know what to do, and then have paralysis by analysis, okay? Number 4, it needs to be doable, okay? A lot of people try to go ham and say, I'm going to go to the gym for an hour this whole entire month. That might not be doable for you. A lot of people say, I'm going to do a 45-minute HIIT session because I want to really crush it. That might not be doable for you. Do something that's doable because you want to do it for 90 days. You don't want to do it for 9 days. All right. You want to do this thing over a long period of time. So 15 minutes, everyone has 15 minutes usually in the day at some point that they could do a HIIT workout. Everybody has 15 to 30 minutes in the day to go for a walk, to get there, clear their brain or do something like that. Everybody has to eat lunch or eat breakfast or eat dinner. You're doing all these things. Most people are on their phone, all right? Most of the time, we're wasting time doing other things when we could be working out, and that's okay. But if you plan when you're going to work out, especially in the beginning, and make it doable, you go, okay, it's only going to be 15 minutes. After I'm done with these 15 minutes, I'm done, all right? Doable, make it doable. And if you need help with that, I can help you, all right? Your recovery days are hitting your step goal, okay? Remember that. Your step goal is still doing a workout, but it's just light. It's like you're still getting that blood flow. You're still getting that movement. And the reason why you want to do that, you don't want to just sit on your butt and you only get 1,000 or 2,000 steps a day, is because you want to consistently, the energy that you burn will actually inform how much energy you need to take in a lot of times. All right. So a lot of times we'll sit on our butts for 15, 16 hours out of the day. And that's a lot, but it does happen. And then all of a sudden we're just eating and we don't burn a lot of calories during the day. If you're walking around 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day, you're burning a significant amount of calories. And so you understand your energy balance a little better. That's what we really want to get after. We want to understand internally what our energy balance needs to be. All right. So those are 5 things that you can really do. Sleep and naps. These are the game changers, because when you don't sleep, you're not going to want to work out. When you sleep and you feel good, you'll be like, man, I have energy. I want to work out. I want to do something. I want to hit my step goal. When you don't sleep, it's just biological. You don't have as much dopamine in your brain and your body to push you to want to work out. You're going to feel lethargic. You're not going to want to do extra things because exercise in our current world is extra. We used to move a lot more back in the day because that was a survival thing. Now we have to force ourselves to move. And if you need a nap, you can take a 10 to 15 minute like light snoozer, that I like to call them, in the afternoon. And it is a game changer. You don't need to take a caffeine pill. You don't need to take a 4-hour energy. No, not hating on those. If you take a 10 to 15 minute nap and set a timer, dude, you will be on a different level of energy. So if you can take 10 to 15 minutes of nap and then do a workout, you're golden if you have to. Then the last thing I'll say for a secret sauce of exercising consistently is building an environment around you that pushes you to want to keep working out. If you have to consistently fight against a current of either the people around you or significant others or friends or family saying, "I don't worry about it. Nah, we don't work out. Like it's, don't need to, blah, blah, blah." Or if you're around people that are unhealthy and don't work out, you are going to be the black sheep. And it's hard to do that. I've done it a lot in my life, and I have always erred on, okay, back in the day, I was like, I'm going to work out because I have these big goals that I want to hit. And now I'm inherently going to, I have intrinsic motivation to work out because I know how beneficial it is to me. But back in the day, it was very tough to work out when a lot of people didn't want to work out as hard as I did. So you have to find a group of people online or in person to help push you to work out over the long term, because it's going to get annoying if your significant other doesn't like to work out. Maybe over time you can help push them to work out more. All right. You don't have to be annoying about it. You don't want to be that annoying person and force people to work out. I never wanted to be that person. But after you work out for a long time, it's so beneficial for your health. So you want your loved ones and your friends to be around you for a long period of time. So it's something that you hope rubs off on them, and you can nudge them every now and then. But definitely listen to books, listen to podcasts, all of these things of people that do work out a lot or are healthy. It's so beneficial to hear them say it, because you're not going to always be around people that have the same goals and aspirations you do. But when you're around those people, it's super helpful. So your environment and the people around you over the long term are either going to really push you to keep living a healthy life or really stifle your improvement in that area. That's it, guys. It's about 30 minutes. Exercise is so important, and I wanted to spend a good amount of time doing this. I'll end with, if you made it this far and you want to reach out and you need an exercise plan and you need something to guide you in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because that's what you have to start with. You still have to start with something small so that you can build off of it and know your routines and know what works good for you. I would love to make your workout plan, and all you need to do is reach out to me, and my email is somewhere in the ether on the internet or something like that. You can reach out. I'd love to make a workout plan for you, get you started. And it's like education, right? I look at it as like, hey, when we create a week workout plan, you're going to be like, okay, that was doable. And then we create the second week, third week, fourth week, and then you have a whole month of workouts. You're going to be like, okay, over 3, 4, 5 months, I feel comfortable enough that I can do this on my own. Because that's the real thing, is you want to crawl, walk, then run, and then fly. Fly bodies, baby. I am corny. That's it though. If you need a little help and you need a little guidance, it's always helpful to have some sort of plan that's baked in that knows you can do it, and then you can build off. So that's all I got, guys. Hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching. Hopefully that's helpful. And get after it.